This is Calm AF, a podcast for humans who are hard on themselves. A podcast for the overthinkers, people pleasers, perfectionists, and overachievers. I'm Kristen Finch, and I'm going to teach you how to quiet that incessant negative chatter in your head. Because you know what a person with a calm mind can do? Anything they want. Grab your coffee, gorgeous soul, because today's the day you get Calm AF. Hello, gorgeous soul. Welcome to Calm AF. I'm so happy to be here with you. I'm so excited to share today's episode. I have a lot to say, so I just want to dive right in and start. So, if you are a people pleaser, a perfectionist, an overachiever, an energy manager, what you believe is that your ability to feel good is dependent on other people or the external world feeling good. So you don't believe it's possible for you to stay in that calm feeling state if there is any conflict around you. You don't believe you can rest if there's anything left to do, right? It feels like everyone but you has the power over your feelings and your moods, right? So it's like, well, I was in a good mood. Then he walked in, he was in a bad mood, and now I'm in a bad mood. Well, I was relaxed until I heard the way he stomped down the stairs. Well, I was actually happy until I noticed, I saw that little shift in their eye. They looked over, and now I can't be happy. Now I have to think about that, right? What this means, energy managers, people pleasers, all of us, our happiness is fragile. When you believe that the decision about how you feel is in someone else's hands, then your only choice to ever have a chance of feeling good is for you to control their moods and feelings. And this really is the universal connection between all of us. Whether you are more of a people pleaser or an energy manager, it doesn't matter. We are all doing it because we have this fragile happiness, because we don't feel like we are in control over how we feel. We feel we are more in control over how other people feel so that we can feel a certain way. So that's the universal connection between us. That's the reason why we do it. But the way it looks can be very different. And I think sometimes people think, oh, I don't do that, so I'm not energy managing. So I want to really clear this up today. I want to share with you the 3 different ways being an energy manager, trying to control other people's feelings and moods in the external world can show up. So you're either going to be hypervigilant, hypovigilant, or a vacillator. So let's start with the hypervigilant. Hypervigilant, they are the ones who, okay, so if we think about happiness being fragile, right? Like your well-being is fragile. So think of it like a vase, right? So this vase, anything that bumps into it, the tiniest little bump shatters it. Your happiness is shattered. Hypervigilants are the ones who are never going to stop gluing the pieces back together, right? The happiness shatters and they don't miss a beat. Before the glasses even hit the ground, they are gathering up the pieces. They are grabbing the glue. They are going to put it back together. They are going to fix it. If you're a hypervigilant responder, the name of your game is hypercontrol. And to be fair to my hypervigilance, you are a master. This approach has probably served you in many ways over your lifetime. You were probably a star student. You were probably successful in your career. You're always the first person that people think of when they have a problem. The consequence of the hypervigilance, of course, is your life, right? All of the time you spend trying to control other people's opinions and moods and experiences, that hypervigilant hurry is time you are disconnected from yourself. Hypervigilant responders lose themselves. They forget who they are. They forget what they like. They say they can handle the stress. We say we can handle it better than everyone else. I'm fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. But it's not true. You aren't fine. You are faking it. The hypervigilants are moving 100 miles per hour, trying to get 100 steps ahead of everyone else, and they are exhausted. So that's the first type. The second type is the hypovigilant responders. Now, hypovigilant responders are often more shut down, right? So if we think that hypervigilant is really, really fast, hypovigilant feels really slow. It feels heavy, right? So let's talk about the happiness. It shatters. And the hypovigilant responder is like, yeah, I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to bother trying to glue it back together because I don't know how. It's not going to work. Even if I do glue it back together, it's not going to be good enough. It's not going to be enough. So the thing to know about hypovigilant responders, and this isn't always, but a lot of times, hypovigilant responders used to be hypervigilant. But at some point, the thoughts of what's the point kind of took hold, right? So they stopped. They stopped the hypervigilant and just kind of settled into this hypovigilant, stuck, slow place. They don't believe they are capable of gluing anything back together. I don't know how. It's too hard. No matter what I do, it's not going to work. And here's the other thing to think about. The hypovigilant responders will also feel exhausted, right? Just because you aren't running 1,000,000 miles per hour, 100 steps ahead of everyone else, like the hypervigilance, what you're doing is dragging around those defeating thoughts every moment of the day. You are thinking about it even if your body is still. Your brain is not stopping. So that's what it looks like when you are showing up more as a hypovigilant controller. Then there's the third type, the vacillators. The vacillators have whiplash, okay? They are going back and forth between hypervigilantly trying to control everything, everyone around you, and then giving up and shutting down. There is no in between for vacillators. You are either hypervigilant or you're hypovigilant. It's all or nothing. You are either moving 1,000,000 miles per hour, 100 steps ahead, or you are stopped 0 miles per hour. For you, the vacillators, when the fragile happiness shatters, one of two things are going to happen. You're either going to rush hypervigilantly to glue it back together and then get overwhelmed and tell yourself you can't do it and curl into the fetal position, or you're going to start in the fetal position. You're going to, what's the point? Until the little voice, what's the matter with you? Get up. You're just going to lay here? What are you, lazy? Get up, start gluing till that voice gets so loud that you rush back over to hypervigilance again. Does this sound familiar? As I'm talking, are you like, that is the one that I am? Now remember, all three types of responders, hypervigilant, hypovigilant, and vacillators, are energy managing, people-pleasing, overachieving. It just looks different. It's either a hypervigilant attempt to control the world so you can feel better, or believing you're not good at controlling the world, so why bother, or both. For all three, the thought is, my happiness, my calm, my joy, all of it, my feelings, my moods is dependent on the world outside of me. My ability to be calm or happy or content depends on me controlling the world outside of me. I am okay as long as everything and everyone else is okay. Which no matter how it shows up, hypo, or vacillating, you will never, ever, ever feel calm, content, or happy for real. Your happiness will always be fragile. You aren't now. You have never been, and you will never be able to control the moods and the feelings of other people. It's not real, right? So if you know that, your brain knows it, you're like, yeah, obviously I know I can't actually control other people's feelings. So the answer would then be to stop, right? I'm just going to stop. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to energy manage. I'm not going to people please. If it's never going to work, then obviously I can just stop. But what happens next? Think about what happens. If you just decide, you try and convince yourself, you're like, yep, I'm going to stop. And your brain is like, let's think about this for just a second. If I keep trying to control the world around me, I will have fragile happiness forever. I will never actually feel at peace. But if I stop trying to control the world around me, I won't even have fragile happiness. I'll just constantly be powerless, living my life at the mercy of the world around me. I'm going to be unhappy forever. So if I have to pick between the two, I guess I would rather have fragile happiness that exhausts my soul than no happiness at all. It's hard, right? Like, well, how do you pick between those two terrible choices? Good news, you don't. There is another option. The opposite of hypervigilance isn't hypo, right? These aren't opposite of each other. There is another option, and that is calm AF. You have to learn how to be calm AF. Calm AF doesn't mean you're always calm, walking around, nothing ever bothers you, right? Being calm AF doesn't change your way of being in the world, right? You are still sensitive to people's feelings. You will still notice subtle shifts in energy, and you will think things about that. And you still will not like it when the people around you are in a bad mood. I don't think that is a thing for us. Never gonna like it. But here's the difference. When you are calm AF, instead of believing that you have to control their feelings and control those subtle shifts and control all the bad moods, you learn how to control your own. Instead of managing everyone else's energy, you become the master of your own energy. And this is where your true power lies. So when you think you're going to be powerless if you let go of control of other people, it's actually the opposite. You were never in control as the energy manager. You are in control as the calm AF energy master. So, what is calm AF actually? It's an energy state. It's not a feeling. It's an energy. It's a regulated nervous system. It's where you know that you, no matter what, are ultimately in control of your own feelings and your own moods and your own thoughts, and most importantly, that you know that you aren't in control of other people's moods or other people's thoughts. When you learn to be calm AF, you aren't reliant on anyone being in a good mood in order for you to be in a good mood. Can you even imagine being able to be in a space with someone who is upset about something and you don't automatically have to be upset about it? This is calm AF. If you want to actually feel calm, ease, rest, joy, happiness that is not fragile, that is not dependent on anything outside of you, then you need to learn how to be calm AF. You need to understand your type, right? Which type are you? Hypo, vacillating? How to regulate your nervous system so that you can learn how to manage your own feelings and moods instead of trying to control other people's. Okay? Life is way, way, way easier when you learn how to be calm AF. Life is never going to be easy because life is full of hard things, but it's easier. You add ease to this life when you know how to move yourself out of this pattern of hypervigilance or hypovigilance or vacillating back and forth into calm AF energy. So I can teach you all of it inside Calm AF Life. Calm AF Life is my 6-month program. It's a group coaching program with so many things. I'm going to tell you all about it. But if today's episode or any of my episodes that you have listened to make you feel like I am reading your mind, that I am talking directly to you, that I know you, that I get you, keep listening and keep an open mind about this Calm AF Life program. Okay? Calm AF Life, like I said, it's a 6-month journey where you will learn how to be calm AF. You will learn how to stop being hypervigilant, hypovigilant, or vacillating, energy managing, people-pleasing, overachieving. You will settle in. You will learn how to be in that calm AF energy. So, enrollment is open November 24th, 25th, and 26th only. It will be open for 3 days, and then enrollment will close again until the spring of 2024. Now, I want to tell you something. I believe in my whole body and soul. After this past year of running this program and changing this program, that this is the best investment you will ever make in yourself ever. And and I know that sounds like a big claim, right? But I want you to think about it. If you take 6 months to learn the skills of how to be calm AF, you don't just keep them for 6 months. You keep them forever and ever. This is always, always your skills to rely on. Instead of having to rely on controlling other people, you will always be able to rely on yourself. Whatever you're struggling with, this program doesn't help you just with those 6 months. It's forever. Okay, so let me tell you about the program. Oh, before I forget, we are having a 1-day Black Friday sale. Get $500 off the program. You only get that coupon code if you join the interest list. So that is in the show notes. Or you can go to KristenFinch.com and click Let Me Know When Enrollment Opens, and you will get that information. So let me talk about the actual program itself. So when you join, you get immediate access to the entire Calm AF course. I was going to change this up, but I know a lot of people love to binge information. Hypervigilance. No, I know a lot of people like to consume and just have all the information at their fingertips. But beginning in January, you will be receiving weekly emails, a new lesson every single week to focus on. And it's in the order and at the pace that I know makes the most sense for how brains work. If I know anything, I know how brains work. So you get the Calm AF Life course. You get daily Calm AF reminders. They start right away. These love letters will drop in your inbox every single morning. So every morning you start, oh yeah, this is what I'm working on. I am creating my Calm AF life. I am becoming Calm AF. The love letters are the hands down favorite part of the program for everybody. Also, when you join, you will get a link to schedule a one-on-one call with me. This is something that I've added after I evaluated kind of the program for the past year. This is something that I added, and it has been a game changer. You and I are going to get together. I'm going to get to know you. You're going to get to meet me and see that I am exactly the same in real life as I am on this podcast. I hear that all the time. Like, oh my gosh, you're exactly the same. Yes. Everywhere I go, I am the same. But on this call, I'm going to get to know you. I'm going to learn your story. I'm going to understand your response style. Are you hypervigilant, hypovigilant, or a vacillator? And then together, we're going to create an individualized plan for you. This is not just think about these things. You are going to leave the call with an action plan, specifically for the first 30 days, but probably beyond, because what your brain needs to learn right away is that simple and consistent action towards what you want creates more and more change than trying to do everything all at once, not hypervigilant action. Okay, so your plan is not going to feel hard or like you need to find an extra hour or two in your day. That is not what this program is. So that's the one-on-one call. The other thing that is new is small group coaching. You are going to join a small group. There are a variety of times and days that you can choose from. I also seem to be really, really good at putting people together that are supposed to be together. But this group that you join meets at the exact same time, on the exact same day, with the exact same people every week. This might be also my favorite change I made in the program, because not only do I feel like I know everyone better, but for those people who didn't feel comfortable sharing in front of a lot of people, or in front of people they don't know very well, or people are different every week. Maybe they're introverts, or they're like me and they sit there the whole time in a group meeting, worried about being called on or being put on the spot. So like everything just like I can't pay attention. So adding this small group coaching to the program has changed everything. Also, there is nothing like knowing every single week for at least 1 hour, you do not need to energy manage or people please or pretend like you've got your shit together. It doesn't matter if you're struggling in your marriage or with your body or with your kids or your career or your life. Every single one of us, because we are all here for the same reason, has the same goal: to learn to get into Calm AF energy, to stay out of hyper and hypo and vacillating energy, to stay in Calm AF energy. And to know you're not alone is priceless. And I just want to say, speaking of marriages, a little side convo. for those of you who are listening and in a neurodiverse or a suspected neurodiverse relationship. This program is not geared specifically. I don't say that's who this is for, and there's lots of people in this group. But yes, your people are in here. Yes, you will meet people who understand you here. And yes, this program will help you. I just wanted to make that little side note. So that's small group. We also have every single month a future self workshop where you will revisit your Calm AF life goals and you will decide where to put your attention next. If you want to stay where you're at or if you want to change it up. This is also another favorite part of the program. We do a future self visualization. It's awesome. So that's really the program. And I want you to ask yourself, if you had all the skills taught to you to be Calm AF, if you had daily accountability, weekly coaching sessions, monthly tune-ups, all of this moving you away from stuck and towards how you want to feel. If you did this for 6 straight months, what do you think is going to happen? If every single day for 6 months you practiced being Calm AF, what's going to happen? You're going to learn to be Calm AF. And again, not just for 6 months, forever. You're going to leave and you're still going to know how to be Calm AF, and you're going to be able to use these skills forever. I am so excited for you to see that life doesn't have to be hypervigilantly running around or hypovigilantly shutting down or vacillating back and forth, that your happiness doesn't have to be fragile, that your calm is not actually dependent on other people. I want you to know this. This thing that you've been trying, it's not working. So you can stop trying. I will show you how to do it in a way that feels safe and is fun and is light and is simple. Come join me in Calm AF Life. The link to join the interest list is in the show notes. Make sure you are on my emails so that you know as soon as enrollment opens. 24th, 25th, 26th, then it's closed again. All right, gorgeous soul. I love you so, so, so much. I cannot wait to meet you. I'll see you soon. Thanks for listening. And before you go, one more thing. So as you know, I am slightly obsessed with helping as many humans tap into their Calm AF-ness as possible. So if this podcast has helped you, would you please leave a review, make sure you're subscribed, and share it with your friends. Also, make sure you head on over to KristenFinch.com to see how you can work with me. You can sign up for my emails and get any other goodies I have available. Until next week, I love you so much. I am so grateful that you're here. I'll see you next time.